Hi everyone, I'm Shazia. Thank you so much for coming back to my channel. Today we will discuss how to check your physical presence in Canada. As I mentioned in my previous video, there's a calculator on IRCC website. Let's go ahead and explore that option. Before we get started, I would request you guys to please go ahead and subscribe to my channel, and a big thank you to those who have already subscribed. So let's get started. For this, you have to create your profile on IRCC. That means you have to log in onto IRCC to be able to calculate. So I'm gonna leave this link in the description. However, you can also try and type physical presence calculator IRCC in the browser and you will find this link on Google. So let's first understand who all will be needing this, right? So first things first, people who are already permanent resident of Canada, those who are waiting to apply for Canadian citizenship, will need this calculator to know whether they are eligible, whether they have spent enough time in Canada to apply for citizenship. That's a basic requirement or residential obligation that we say. So, as we all know, the requirement is 1095. That means you have to spend 1095 days in Canada in the past 5 years, in the recent 5 years to be able to apply for Canadian citizenship. And there are other things that you need to keep in mind. So how are you going to count your days? First thing, if you were a temporary resident before becoming a permanent resident, so the time you spent as a temporary resident in Canada, if you have spent 500 days or 1 year, that's going to be counted half. So 1 year is going to be 6 months, 500 days will be only 250 days, if that makes sense. And if you, God forbid, have served any notice for any offense or legal offense, then those days will not be calculated. So that's the basics. So let's get started. On this page it will tell you that you have to enter the information correctly and things like that. So you need to keep scrolling down and you will see a start calculator option. So first thing, it will ask you, when are you going to sign the application for citizenship? Let's take my example. I'm not going to sign my citizenship anytime soon because I know I haven't spent anything close to 1,000 days or 1,095 days in Canada. So I'm just calculating it for me to know how many days more I have to spend, right? This is for information. Those who are definite about, like, okay, you are applying for citizenship tomorrow, then you can select that specific date. For us, if it says just select today's date, so I'm going to do that. And then it will ask you, when did you become a permanent resident? So this date, if you don't remember, it's going to be on your COPR document that you received before receiving your PR card. So I'm going to go ahead and enter. Okay. So I have entered 11th of January 2020. Once I say save, it's going to ask me to log in. Okay, so after logging in, so it will ask you to register. For registration, you just need one email address that you can verify, and also you need to enter a password and some security questions that they'll ask, right? 3 security. It's very simple the way you create a Gmail ID. So after which you will come back to the same screen where you have entered your dates when you became a permanent resident, right? And say save. and calculate. Okay, so the second step here on the second page is, do you have Canadian temporary resident status as a visitor, international traveler or something like that, international student, temporary worker, temporary resident permit holder, things like that. So I never had any. If you had, you can put yes, and then it will ask you to enter dates. I'm gonna go ahead and select no and say submit. Then it will ask you, did you have Canadian temporary resident status, which is the same question. You select submit and continue. Okay. Did you spend serving a sentence? A big no. Say submit and then click on continue. This is a little confusing that after clicking submit you still have to click continue, but that's okay. So did you leave Canada between 2016 to 2021? If the answer is yes, you have to enter reason and dates. So for me it is a yes. Okay. If you left Canada for any reason, including vacation, work, business, family matters, schools, illness, etc., just go ahead and select yes. If you did leave Canada in the last 5 years, it will ask you where did you go. So I came to my home country, which is India. I'm going to go ahead and look for India in this list. And when did you leave? So I'm gonna put a date. So I came in November around this date that you returned. I'm gonna go ahead and select 1st September. Reason, family emergency. Okay. That's it. Okay. Add absence, and then you have to say anything, any other time that you left. You can keep adding. So I left only once, so I'm gonna just add one date from this date to this date. So it calculated my physical presence, that my physical presence in Canada is only 318 days. So I know now that I have spent these many days, and if I subscribe, remove these many days from 1095 days, I'll know how many more days that I have to spend in Canada to be able to, uh, uh, be eligible for applying for citizenship. It is very simple. It is that the submit and calculate multiple buttons might make you confused for a minute, but it's very easy. So for example, if you have went on vacations multiple times in the last 5 years, then you have to remember those dates, for which there is option on IRCC website. It is your it's like your travel book. You can enter the dates when you're leaving Canada, and when you come back you can enter that date, so it will keep a track of your travels. Though you're, usually people travel by air, so you will have those dates on your air tickets. If you keep a copy of that, you can retrieve from there. But if you are someone who will not be able to remember and if you don't keep documents from the past, I would strongly suggest that it's the best for you to go ahead and maintain that diary, so that it will keep a track of how many days that you are leaving Canada. And when you have to apply for citizenship, you will have all the dates ready, so you can calculate and you'll know how many more days to spend, right? So I hope this was very useful, and it's a user friendly calculator. I hope you're gonna go ahead and make use of it. In my next video, I'm gonna talk about the travel requirements for British citizen but who have visited India during COVID and traveling back home during this time. What all they need to do. So that's going to be my next video most probably, and after that I'm going to also help you with the guide, how to keep a track of your travel dates. That's there on IRCC again. So I wish everybody luck for those who are waiting for their immigration, and also those who are waiting to apply for citizenship. Have a good day. Thanks for watching my videos. Bye bye.